Fam, what's going on? Kyle Henderson, Bama Football on YouTube. Appreciate you guys being here and being with me on this breaking update as Keelon Russell has flipped from SMU to Alabama. Look, we talked about it, this past weekend and the implications that it would have when Coach Kalen DeBoer was able to have these prospects on board. This is a big time commitment. I'm gonna walk you through it. We're gonna talk about it. I want you to give a thumbs up if you're excited about Keelon Russell joining the Alabama class of 2025. This is a really big pickup, and I think anytime you get your quarterback on board, it says a lot about the direction of where this class is going. Kaz, what's up, man? Appreciate you becoming a member right here on Bama Football on YouTube. And what I mean by that is your quarterback is the captain, right? The captain of the ship, kind of provides a directional standpoint. And I think it also tells us a lot about Coach Kalen DeBoer and his recruiting philosophy, what he wants to do in terms of this new offense under this new organization. Keelon Russell is a player who is very special. I think when you look to him, and I'll bring up his highlights in just a second so we can look at his highlights one more time, because there was probably a couple people who missed out on his highlights. We looked at him, a couple days ago following his visit to Alabama. And I think, look, he had some visits that were going to come up. I think, what were they to Oregon? Were they to Florida? Something like that. But I think that it's a no-brainer when you look to what Coach Kalen DeBoer has, and I get it. You look to the quarterbacks that Alabama has on the roster, right? You look to the future of Alabama's program. You always have to take a quarterback within your class, and getting Keelon Russell is a really big pickup for a lot of different reasons. I think he provides a quarterback that is a dual threat type quarterback. I think he has a really good arm, and honestly, I mean, look, this is really a stretch, but I see kind of some glimpses of Michael Penix within his game. I think that his ball placement, his delivery, touch on his football. Let's look at some highlights real quick, and we'll bring those up right now on Bama Football on YouTube. This is a breaking update as Alabama has just flipped Keelon Russell from SMU. And look, people were like, oh, you're flipping prospects from SMU. Look, I mean, SMU, credit to them for getting on board and doing a really great job in recruiting early on in the process. Here is highlights. And I think when you look to Keelon Russell and him coming to Alabama, you're going to see a quarterback that's a playmaker, that is gifted, that has an ability to escape the pocket, that can make you miss, that can turn upfield, that can get to the end zone. I'm telling you, this guy's a playmaker. I'm serious. Coming out of Texas, the Lone Star State, I think sometimes we get hyped up about these quarterbacks coming out from California, but man, Texas guys are certainly spinning it. And I think right now, I know Florida's going to be mad about me saying this as well, but you could argue that Texas probably has the best high school football talent in the country. I'm always hyping up Alabama, the state of Alabama, but Keelon Russell's a baller, all right? I think he's going to be a 5-star when it's all said and done. That was a ridiculous play right there. So if you're just here, Keelon Russell has committed to the Alabama Crimson Tide. Yeah, and when we go live, it's a big deal. This is a quarterback who is electric, who is dynamic. You're right, Jarvis. I mean, those are good adjectives to describe this quarterback that's going to be spearheading the class of 2025. You look at Latavier Brooks coming in. We talked about him and what he had to say, that they're going to step on people's necks. Look, I think when you look to Alabama and the future of Alabama, Alabama is not going anywhere. This program is not dropping off. They are not going anywhere. And thank you, Mike G. You look at right now where Texas high school football is, it's elite. He's coming out of the I believe it's close to Denton, right? If I'm not mistaken. Florida have better talent. Texas has better coaches. That could be a really good point. And that could be, we'll talk about that on the show on Wednesday morning. But getting back to what Keelon Russell brings to the table, I really like him, man. I mean, he has really good touch, really good delivery on his ball, and some good zip too. I think his arm strength will improve going forward, and that's not a knock on him. I have no problem with where his arm strength is right now. Prospects add strength to their delivery as you grow. He also has some baller wide receivers. Coach Kalen DeBoer, can we check out some of those wide receivers too? But it doesn't hurt when you get Latavier Brooks coming in, right? One of the fastest players in the class of 2025 on board. So this is a big day for Alabama football, and I think when you look to the pocket presence, you're right, Case. What's up, man? I appreciate you being a fan funder. He does have good pocket presence, and I think he has good zip and just overall like a really good sense to keep it, tuck it, turn it upfield. Look, this is the quarterback of these are the quarterbacks that you need right now, guys who are playmakers. And look, don't get it twisted, Jalen Milroe has this ability too, and so does Ty Simpson. Ty Simpson is a hell of a runner. He has great pocket presence as well, and when it's his time, he's gonna do his thing as well. But Jack, what's up, man? Appreciate you being here. I like his accuracy too, and that's why I'm saying, I know, look, it's far off to compare anybody who just got drafted to the NFL, but I see kind of, a little bit of some glimpses of Michael Penix. Michael Penix ran, what did he run? Like a 4.4? I know he wasn't I think he's more pocket style, but the guy could run as well. So when you have someone, and think about the selling points that you have when you're Coach Keelon DeBoer. Look, I just sent a guy in to the NFL. You look at the quarterback room. Can you imagine Jalen Milroe being like, hey, how is it coming from Texas to Alabama? How they treat you? Oh, they welcome me, man. They love me. And so you have another future quarterback coming from the Lone Star State. And you're right. What's up, Carl Taylor? I appreciate you being here, man. Thanks for being a fan funder. And the depth. I mean, you look at the quarterback room right now for the Alabama Crimson Tide. I mean, what's not to like about it, right? I mean, man, Jalen Milroe, right? 1,400 to win the Heisman. Duncanville, you're right. A powerhouse program. And then you also have Ty Simpson. This is crazy. He's good. Yeah, Dylan Lonergan. You have Austin Mack, and you have Keelon Russell. So those are the now we are getting into the future. And what I always talk about is with Coach Keelon DeBoer, he's already recruited, right? Like, he's working on 3 recruiting classes. You could say 4 because of the transfer portal. What I mean by that is he closed 2024, Noah Carter, Ryan Williams. 2025, you're seeing 2025 being built right now. And he's already working on 2026. So picking up your quarterback today, Keelon Russell, really big day for the Alabama Crimson Tide. Originally committed to SMU, took a visit to Alabama. And look, let's pause and let's think about this real quick. Keelon Russell was just in Tuscaloosa. He had some visits that he was going to take after Alabama. He shuts it down and he commits to Alabama. What does that tell us, right? To me, that tells me a lot about Coach Keelon DeBoer's overall message and about Nick Sheridan and about Jamarcus Shepard in terms of their vision of their program, their vision of the offense, their vision of this continued brand here with the Alabama Crimson Tide. This is big time, and I think it's going to spur a lot of momentum. I like the ride out mentality. What's up, Steven? I appreciate you being here. Sean, good to see you, man. Inside the comment box for the breaking news, Keelon Russell has committed to the Alabama Crimson Tide. Okay, let me ask you guys on in terms of a recruiting class momentum factor, because I think anytime you get your quarterback on board, it provides a lot of momentum, okay? Alabama's trailing a couple other schools right now in the On3 Rivals recruiting rankings. We've talked about that, and I'll bring up the recruiting class here in a minute. In terms of momentum going forward, what type of momentum do you think this is going to give Alabama and Coach Keelon DeBoer going forward in terms of 1 to 10? I think it's probably going to be a 9 to 10, because now think about if you're a wide receiver out there, if you're a running back, if you're an offensive lineman, if you're Ty Haywood, who's also from the Lone Star State, you're like, man, they got Keelon Russell. And you start to hear this class coming on board, and you start to think about, the other prospects that are going to join the class of 2025 for the Alabama Crimson Tide. Look, this is Coach Keelon DeBoer's first recruiting class that he's putting together. This is the quarterback that he's starting everything with right now. And you gotta like it. If you're an Alabama fan and you've been stressing out over the last, I don't know, since Coach Saban left about this and that, and you probably haven't been because you liked what Coach Keelon DeBoer's done. Right now, you see what he's putting together, and you're like, man, woo, I'm feeling pretty good. Can you imagine? You're like you're posted up. It's summertime, and it's Tuesday. It's 3:30, and you get the notification that Keelon Russell's coming in. You know what you're doing? If you're old enough, when it's 5 o'clock somewhere, you're pouring yourself a cold one and you're being like, man, we're in good hands. We're in good hands with Coach Keelon DeBoer. This is a hell of a land for the Alabama Crimson Tide. And you know what? Coach Greg, athletic director Greg Byrne, I just saw him post. I was going to do a video here in a second. He just posted a video of the Final Four chair. Think about all the things. Damn, he's fast, right? This dude is fast. Man, he's fast. Damn, that was a good ball. Sheesh. Man, those last two clips were fire. Yeah, he shut down his recruitment, Steven. He said he's committed to the Alabama Crimson Tide. Man, he's fast. So getting back to Greg Byrne, you look at what he's been able to do. He goes out, he gets Nate Oates, and Alabama basketball's rolling. He literally has a Final Four chair now. Did you see this posted in his office? And then you looked at Coach Keelon DeBoer and what he's been able to do with that. And they were able to navigate through some tough times, right, with the whole Grubb deal and players leaving and this and that. And people thought the sky was going to fall. And that's how it is, because not a lot of people can deal with adversity. Adversity happens and you move through it. Coach Keelon DeBoer has been able to navigate through it smoothly, and you continue to add, prospects that want to play here, that want to be a part of something bigger than themselves. Alabama isn't. Remember when we thought that Alabama was broke? Like back in January, and that they couldn't afford like any prospects or whatever. Everything changed. I don't know. I mean, either you guys are like big fan funders of Yay Alabama, or Nick Saban is contributing to the NIL. I have no idea, but it doesn't seem to be a problem anymore that Alabama's getting recruits. I mean, you get Mark Sears to come back. I don't think he came back to play for free. Jaron Stevenson on the basketball side. You look at the other prospects that are coming in. Ryan Williams, I think he's getting paid as well. And I think in 2025, the universities, from what I read, there was an article by Tony Tsoukalos of Rivals that said that he is 2025, Adam. So this is the real deal. You know, sometimes when we talk about 2026, you're like, okay, you don't get really hyped up because you know the guys can like decommit and stuff like that. No, like getting a guy in 2025 at this point in time and getting your quarterback, no, it's a big deal. So from what I understand, the universities will be able to pay the players going forward. And I think that could impact the other sports from the article. That's how it was framing out. But I mean, these guys are going to be, I mean, this is, does it make it pro? I don't know. I mean, if the guys are getting paid, whatever the case is, I mean, they're going to get their money, and rightfully so. I mean, there's so many jersey sales that I've seen so many times, and none of those players got paid for it, right? But that's another subject for another time. What we're talking about today is Keelon Russell committing to the Alabama Crimson Tide. If you think so, let me ask you this, and I'll bring it up on the other side real quick, and let's look at the class of 2026 Alabama, actually 2025, my bad, 2025 Alabama football recruiting class. Let me ask you this: who are you most excited about in this class thus far? And just to kind of rewind, I'm gonna post that on the screen right now, and then we'll bring back the highlights. So we're going to stop this, and we're going to open up another window. We're going to bring it right here. Okay, so here are the recruits, and I'll bring it full screen so you guys can see. Breaking news is Keelon Russell has just committed. He's the Alabama class of 2025 quarterback. And here is how things are looking right now. Okay, so you have Daryl Johnson out of Georgia. And a couple things that I want you to look at when you're looking at this recruiting board as well is look at where these prospects are from. Okay, that's very important. Okay, so you have Daryl Johnson, who's a 4-star. You have Derek Smith. I love this dude. His highlight, out of Selma. I think this guy's going to be a baller. 6'1", 185. He's a 4-star. Keelon Russell. That's the new addition that we're talking about right now. I think that he'll be a 5-star when all said and done. Almost 6'4". I didn't know he was that tall. 182 pounds. Guy moves so well. Anthony Turbo Rogers. I know he was recently up at Ohio State. But look real quick. Like, this is turning into a pretty damn good recruiting class, okay? Antonio Coleman, who flipped from Auburn, Jaden Harmon from Rome, Georgia, you know, the ballers out of that class, Abdul Sanders from Mater Dei, right? There's a pretty good quarterback that came out of Mater Dei, right? I think his name is Bryce Young, right? Zamir Smith, who is just in Tuscaloosa. He's from Maryland. So let's rewind. Look at this real quick. This is important, right? Right here, okay? Where is Keelon Russell from? Texas. Where is Jaden Harmon from? Georgia. Where is Abdul Sanders from? California. Where is Zamir Smith from? Maryland, right? Where is Luke Metz from? And I know he just got offered from Georgia. He's now a 4-star. Georgia, right? Latsier Brooks, New Jersey, right? And Miles Johnson is from the state of Alabama. So my point in that is the fact that Coach Keelon DeBoer, remember, we were talking about it. How were these guys going to be able to recruit? Could they recruit at a high level? And man, you're right, Case. It's national recruiting, baby. Like, you're seeing it right in front of your eyes. He's going coast to coast. He's going to the home state of Alabama. He's taking the best from Alabama, and he's doing a damn good job. You know what? Let's just round of applause for Coach Keelon DeBoer, honestly, because this is big time. This is a really big land, getting Keelon Russell today. And I think this is only going to continue to spur more momentum for Alabama overall. So big time get for Alabama. He's a consensus 4-star. Excuse me. I think he will be a 5-star when all said and done. This is gigantic news on Tuesday. And you know what, Hattie Mae? I think it's exceeding expectations as well on recruiting. Not that I thought that recruiting was going to fall off, but, you know, no one is ever going to be Nick Saban. But what it tells me is that players are buying into his message, and that the brand itself still is so strong in the college football fabric, right? It's, you know, Coach Saban's not there, but Alabama football is still here. And I think these coaches showed us in springtime just a sample of what they bring. But could you imagine being like Keelon Russell and getting to meet Nick Sheridan and his young mind, and getting to talk to Jalen Milroe? Hey, what do you think about Nick Sheridan? Man, he believes in me. He wants me to be the guy. Like, he's investing in me, right? I don't think they got that from previous offensive coordinators. And now with Coach Keelon DeBoer being an offensive-minded coach, which I'm not against. I think you need an offensive-minded coach in this era of college football because it is grass basketball. You know, it is what it is. So a huge get for Alabama. Overall, on a scale of 1 to 10, your happiness, tell me inside the comment box. 10, are you ecstatic about this addition for the Alabama Crimson Tide? 8, 9, 10. I'm going to go ahead and give my assessment. I'm going to say this is a 10 because I think eventually he is going to be a 5-star. Byron, what's up, man? You are. We really appreciate you being here. Austin Mack being 6'8", needs to look at the basketball team. I don't know if he could post up down low in the paint, but they got their big man, right? Cliff Amori. All right, so Mr. B, we haven't had a good OC the past 3 years. 100%, you haven't. You haven't had a good OC here at the University of Alabama. Honestly, look, I know he wasn't going to be the OC, but it could have been Alex Mortensen. He was like the quarterback whisperer guy. So, and we talked about this on my morning show this morning, the class of 2020 and that coaching staff. So yeah, you know what? Alabama Bill O'Brien wasn't the right guy. Tommy Rees, it wasn't his time. So, you know, since Steve Sarkisian left, you've kind of been trending in the wrong direction on the offensive coordinator standpoint. I think Coach Keelon DeBoer will bring it back. Whopper, what's up, man? I appreciate you, man. Everybody loves the Whopper. We appreciate you being in-house right here on Bama Football on YouTube. So, all right, fam, this is a breaking update. I hope that you guys, are excited about Keelon Russell coming to the Alabama Crimson Tide. I think it's a big pickup. We will discuss this more on my Wednesday show. You can catch me live 7:30 in the morning. I've been going early after my workout, so I just kind of hop online. But as news breaks, I got you covered right here at Bama Football on YouTube. I sincerely appreciate you guys being here. Thank you so much. This is a really big pickup for the Alabama Crimson Tide. I will catch you soon as news happens. Gigantic pickup for Alabama and really Coach Keelon DeBoer. So if you're out there, enjoy it. And definitely, like Steven said, hit the thumbs up. And I'll catch you next time right here on Bama Football on YouTube. See you guys.